Hello there! In the last lesson, we finished texturing the big objects from our scene, and now we're gonna create some little objects, adding more details and making our interior design more rich. So we're gonna start this lesson modeling some pillows for the couch and for the chairs, and also we're gonna create a painting here and maybe also upstairs we're gonna see, and also create the rim around the walls. And this is gonna be in part 1. In part 2 of this video, adding some extra elements, we're gonna add some lighting in here and also upstairs, and also we're gonna add some plants. Okay, so let's start with the pillows. I will go in solid mode. Okay, so I'm gonna select the floor, this tab to edit mode, and with edge select I will select only this top edge, press Shift S, cursor to selected. Go out of edit mode, and now I move my cursor here so I can create the pillow out of the way, and then I'm gonna move it in place. So let's create the pillow. I press Shift A, cube, let's resize it. I say S 0.25, and on the Z axis, let's resize it also, S Z 0.02, and let's move it up a little bit, GZ, just so we can see it better. I'll rotate to this direction so it's easier to notice, because this is where we're gonna create the pillow and then we're gonna move it in place. Okay, so to create this pillow, you press tab, so we are in edit mode now. I press Ctrl R to create a loop cut, and the loop cut is here. And to cancel the movement, I press right click, and over here in the bottom left you say loop cut and slide. I will open this one, and over here in number of cuts I will say 30. And now I will go again and I'll press Ctrl R on the other direction. Okay, so not like this, on the other direction. I click and I right click to cancel the movement, and also over here I will say 30. So I created 30 loop cuts with 30 loop cuts and have perfect squares. Okay, now back in object mode, modifiers, add modifier, subdivision surface, we change here to 3. Now go to physics properties, add cloth. Over here in the animation panel, I have to move to frame 1 or 0, doesn't matter. And here in the cloth properties, I have to go down, 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 and to field weight, and choose the gravity and put it to 0. Like this. Or click and say 0. I go here to pressure, and here I say 20. Exactly like in the lesson where we created the pillows for the bed, we have to save so we make sure even if it crash, we don't lose anything. Even if it crash, we don't lose anything, so we are safe. Actually, before we run this animation, let's change here, level viewport to 2, because I realize it could be too heavy, and we can change this after anyway. Alright, and here in the close, you can click on this little button to get to the properties. I want to change one more thing. The pressure, I want actually to put 30. Okay, now be patient because this animation is gonna load very slowly. That's why we saved before. So we make sure nothing crashes and nothing happens. Let's play the animation. You can click this play button or press the space bar. So when we are happy with your results, just stop this animation. It doesn't have to look perfect because we're gonna fix these pixel-like cracks, but it's just the shape of it. If you are happy with it, it is all that matters. Okay, so here's something that I'm happy with. And when you are happy with what you have, you can go here to Object, Convert to Mesh. And now this is a mesh, we don't have any modifiers left. So we right click, Shade Smooth. And also let's add another subdivision surface. And then now let's fix these cracks a little bit. So I'm gonna go here in sculpting, go to the pillow. And here, if you scroll up, you can find this brush called Smooth. Or you can press Shift S. But before that, let's go back to layout and apply this transform. So press Ctrl A, all transforms. Now back to sculpting. And with this brush selected, let's make it less strong and also smaller because now it's huge. Okay, and let's smooth these cracks a little bit because they are too deep. You see, like you can fix stuff around here. But I don't want too much. I still want some cracks because it looks better with them there. Okay, so I like this one. I think I'll fix a little more here actually. Let's make it smaller. Something like this. This looks good. Back to layout. And now this is the pillow that we're gonna use everywhere around the couch and around the chairs. So let's move it in place. I'll select the couch, Shift S, cursor to selected. So I'll select the couch and first I'll right click, set origin to geometry. And now I press Shift S, cursor to selected. So my 3D cursor is here. Now I take this pillow, right click, and we say origin to 3D cursor. So the origin went there. And now right click, geometry to origin. And we have our pillow there. Press the dot or the delete button. And let's place a few of these pillows. So first I will rotate it 90 degrees on the Y. Move it up. G, Y. Actually, there is something else I wanna do before I do this. So let's go in edit mode. And with this selected, this proportional editing, I'll choose from here, vertex select. I'll choose one vertex, doesn't matter which one. And one vertex from this side. So one vertex here and one vertex here. And I press G and Z. Let's make this one smaller. I just wanted to make it more flat so when it stays on the couch, it's not that. I think this is good. Let's go back to object mode. GZ. See, now it can lay flat on the couch. Let's rotate it on the Z axis and position it here and a little on the Y. I press Y 2 times, okay? So R, Y, Y. Like this, and let's bring it forward a little. Something like this. Let's duplicate it. Y. Let's make 3 like this. And duplicate it. Y. Move it 1 here. Actually, this one I want on the Z axis a little more. So they are not perfectly aligned. Just a little. Because I also don't want them to look messy. Now I duplicate this one, the last one that I made. Shift D. X. Bring it here to put it on the chair. R, X. G, Y. G, X. R, Z. I press Shift D, Y, and bring this one like this. R, Z. So I will just position it in any way I feel it looks good. Actually, I don't want this chair. I feel it doesn't look good with the pillow. I will leave them in like this. And now let's select the first one. We go here to materials, add new, say couch pillow. Select the next one, new, couch pillow 2. And here the third one, couch pillow 3. I will select this one and I will add here couch pillow 1. On this one I say couch pillow 2. And on this one I will say couch pillow 3. I selected them like this. We're gonna have a lesson where we're gonna texture all these pillows in the lecture that is called Texturing the Extra Elements. There you can find the texturing of the pillows. But for now, let's move on to the next thing that we need to model. That is the paintings on the walls. Let's select the table. Shift S, cursor to selected. Shift A, mesh plane. RX 90. Let's bring it up a little bit. S, Z, and say 0.5. Like this. Let's scale this down. Let's say 0.8 G, Z. And let's bring it on this wall. It's a bit difficult because we don't have too much room in here. But we can see on this side, I'm on the back. So I will bring it inside this wall. Inside this wall, basically it means on the other side. G, Y, and now it's in here. If you go to this mode, you can notice it. Just wait for everything to load. G, Y, just bring it out like this. I think I want it a little more taller. S, Z, let's say 1.3. Yes. And we're gonna add a painting here, alright? Not at the moment, but in the same lecture that I mentioned earlier, we can also texture this one, and the lecture is gonna be called Texturing the Extra Elements. So let's duplicate this one, Shift D, Z, and the next one I want it above the bed, RZ 90. Let's move it on the x-axis all the way back, GY, GZ, and let's say SY 0.5. Yes. And I'll bring it a little more to the Y over here. Let's see if it's centered. No, a little more to the right and a little more down actually. And I think I want it more on the y-axis. So I resize on the y-axis and say 1.3 SZ 0.8. That's good. That's very good. And now we have to model one more thing, and then this lecture is done. We have to create a rim around the bottom of the walls, all of them. This is gonna take a while. Before we do this, we have to hide these objects, like the chair, the pillows, both chairs, the table, the couch, all these pillows. They need to be hidden. Also the stairs. Press H on them, or you can deselect here, but I'll press H. And now the house is empty, so we can focus on the walls. Okay, so I will select the floor. With edge select, I will select this edge between the rooms. Shift S, cursor to selected. We have the cursor here. Now back in object mode. Shift A, cube. Let's make it smaller. I don't know how small I make it. Let's say 0.02. Something like this. GZ, GY, and over here I'll go to edit mode, press Ctrl R once, and create a cut like this. Ctrl R again, and create a cut like this. Now you can select these two vertices, press X, delete vertices. We have an empty area here, that's fine. Select these 4 vertices, press F, select these vertices, and press F. I press number 3, select this face, G, Z, without this proportional editing. G, Z, bring it down, and select this face, G, Z, G, Y, and bring it something like this. This looks good. Now we can go here in edit mode and select these 3 faces and say G, X, and bring them all the way out. GX. Now I will duplicate this object. Shift D, X to bring it on this side of the door. I'll resize it on the x-axis as X, GX to bring it here. Let's say origin to geometry, like this. Go in edit mode. I will go like this so I can see this as transparent. And now if I go to vector select, I can select all of them, G, X, and select these ones, G, X. Let's go back into this mode so we can see better. Shift D, X, let's put it here. I see again origin to geometry, R, X, 90. Let's place it over here. I go back into this mode so I can select all. Now I can go here because they are already selected. Go all the way there and take all these, G, Y, make it like this. And I think this one, I want it over it like this, so it creates a nice edge. Oh, and you know what we could do? On this edge, I can press Ctrl R to meet with this line. Press Ctrl R again and create another one very close to that one. And say 3 to face select. Select this top face, G, Z. Break it down to match those others. Like this. And it creates a nice edge. Now we can reuse this one like this, so we don't do that all the time. Over here we can reuse it 2 times actually. So let's press Shift D, X, move it over here, R, Z. But before we do that, we have to say here medium point, RZ minus 90. Let's move it in place. I'll go to this mode again to see everything. And vector select. Select only this one, go to edit mode, vector select or press 1. Select this part. Let's go back into this material output. G, X, and move it over here. Very good. And continue like this, doing all the way around, even here and here, all the way around. It's gonna look much more realistic and beautiful. Let's go. And that's it. This is how you create this rim around the walls. We can bring now back all this or press Alt H and they will bring all back. Very good. So this is it for this lesson. In the next lesson, we're gonna add some lights and some more details to these rooms. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!